Major top stories of the day. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi hailed Croatian efforts in supporting Egypt in different international arenas. Addressing a joint press conference with visiting Croatian President Zoran Milanovic on Monday, President Sisi also offered condolences and help to Turkey and Syria over a deadly earthquake that claimed over 1,300 lives in both countries. The president said his talks with Milanovic tackled boosting cooperation in the fields of energy and investment. President el-Sisi asserted the importance of boosting bilateral economic and trade cooperation with the Balkan country. For his part, the Croatian president said his country is pushing bilateral cooperation in military and tourism fields. President Milanovic also said we are working on supporting Egypt through our membership in the EU. The press conference followed talks between the two presidents at the presidential Ittihadiyya Palace. Earlier this morning, a red carpet reception ceremony with guards of honors attending was held at the palace to greet the Croatian leading guest with the national anthems of both countries. Welcome back, and on this important visit, we're glad to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Wafaa Basseem, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Ambassador Basseem.
Good afternoon.
Ambassador Basseem, Egypt has long-lasting relations with Croatia. How do you assess this diplomatic relations with Croatia in light of the current visit of the Croatian president to Egypt?
Well, we can situate this visit in the context of the momentum that the foreign policy of Egypt is taking during this time, which is characterized by the diversity of strategic dialogue with a number of partners, old and new. With Croatia, we have always had excellent relations since a very long time, and that was even at the time when Croatia was part of former Yugoslavia. We can never forget the historical role of the Croatian, then part of the Yugoslav pilots, who did not boycott the navigation in Suez Canal upon the nationalization in 1956. They extended a hand of help, assistance in all goodwill. On the other hand, Egypt has been the host of more than 30,000 Croatians, among them families, children, elderly people, women who resided and found refuge in Egypt from the atrocities of the World War II, and that was during the years between 45 and 49. Among these families, there are many Croatians who are buried in the Egyptian soil near Suez. And this is where the Croatian president started his visit to Egypt to pay tribute to those defense citizens, and also to express his gratitude to Egypt and the authorities in Suez for taking good care of this cemetery.
Right.
Apart from this, Egypt and Croatia do see eye to eye on many of the international multilateral issues inside the United Nations and its specialized agencies.
Right. Well, Ambassador Basseem, a press conference took place today between President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and visiting Croatian President Milanovic. How do you see the significance of the press conference, and what were the main points of discussion?
Well, the The conference, the press conference took place after the two presidents had their bilateral talks on tete-a-tete, and then with the extended delegation, their talks have extended to many important subjects, whether on the bilateral level, which is mainly to enhance and enforce our bilateral relations, taking the opportunity of this high-level visit and where the Croatian president has extended in his turn the invitation to President el-Sisi to visit Croatia. This is part of on the bilateral level. On the multilateral level, or on the diplomatic level, we spoke, or the two presidents in their press conference stressed the importance of using the cards that both have to create a situation of win-win. Of course, they spoke about the dam in Ethiopia, and the Egyptian president explained the different aspects of this issue, how the Nile waters are a question of life and existence for the Egyptian people, explained our position, and stressed that we wanted a political solution to this crisis, to this problem. On the other hand, they also explored the importance of enhancing relations economically in the field of trade, in the field of tourism, in the field of energy. They, of course, discussed the different factors threatening peace and security in the Mediterranean. They discussed the Ukrainian war, and they also explored how they can create a strong cooperation in the light of the fact that Croatia has joined the Eurozone and the Schengen area early this year in completion to its membership to the European Union.
Mm. Right. Well, also during the press conference, President Sisi highlighted the significance of economic and trade cooperation with Croatia. How do you see, or how do you assess the expected future cooperation in the field of investment and trade between Egypt and Croatia?
Well, I think in light of the of this important visit, that is the culmination of many diplomatic contacts and technical contacts also at high level between the two countries during the last few years. I think that now there is a big opportunity to reinforce the cooperation in the field of investment, especially in the light of the different investment opportunities that are presented in Egypt, to make use and best use of the Suez Canal free zone, and especially that the president of Croatia was in the region, in the Suez Canal region yesterday, and he saw how many factories are being built there, and the interest and assets that can be used in this area. Also, we can have a very good cooperation in the field of agriculture by creating a green corridor for Egyptian exports of fruits and vegetables to Croatia, the cooperation in the field of industry, and to use the best assets in both countries for a fruitful and effective exchange.
Right. Well, also the Croatian President Zoran Milanovic referred to the importance of pushing bilateral cooperation in the military and tourism fields. So would you please brief us on cooperation between Egypt and Croatia in these fields?
Well, Egypt has always been a destination for tourists from Eastern Europe as well as from the other parts of the world, but particularly from Eastern Europe because of the excellent relations that always existed between Egypt and this part of the European continent, because of the beautiful weather that we have here when Europe is freezing from the cold, because of also the proximity and the possibility of having charter flights, especially that now there is a return of European tourism to the Egyptian destinations, whether they are the seaside in the south, by the Red Sea, or for cultural tourism in Cairo, in Upper Egypt, and so on and so forth. Also, there is, as far as the military cooperation, that is also part of the traditional trade that existed between Egypt and former Yugoslavia and its different republics. Among them was Croatia, where there is an exchange of points of view, of technical experiences. There is also the military industries that could be complementary between the two countries, as well as a perspective of why not also military exercise between both of them.
Right. Ambassador Basseem, also Milanovic highlighted the significance of the support of Croatia to Egypt through its membership of the European Union. How significant is this kind of support from Croatia to Egypt through the EU?
When you have good relations existing since a long time between Croatia and Egypt, you can count on this friendly country to be, let's say, your advocate for your issues and matters of concern with and interest also with the EU, such as trade, enhancing the partnership agreement that we have with the EU, using the fact that there is no conflict of interest between us and between Croatia. In the contrary, they can take the voice of Egypt to the European Union to explain our efforts, our interests, the challenges that the country faces, and we have points of interest and common points of interest, such as the economic situation that is not particular to Egypt but to the whole world after the events of the COVID-19 and the Ukrainian war. There is also the issues concerning the chain of supplies. There is the issue of climate change in the light of the results of COP27, which Egypt hosted in Sharm el-Sheikh last November.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Ambassador Wafaa Basseem, former assistant to the foreign minister, for your valuable insight. And dear viewers, now we go to a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and moving on with our special reports. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Romanian Prime Minister Nicolae Stoica discussed on Monday in Cairo cooperation between the two countries in the field of energy. More details in this report.
President Fattah el-Sisi and Romanian Prime Minister discussed on Monday in Cairo cooperation between the two countries in the field of energy. The meeting was held in light of the keenness of both Egypt and Romania to diversify and secure their energy sources, especially amid the Russia-Ukraine crisis and the consequent global challenges. For his part, the Romanian Prime Minister expressed the aspiration to develop and enhance Romania's relations with Egypt in all fields, especially economic and commercial relations. The Romanian Premier also affirmed keenness on exchanging expertise between the two countries and encouraging their joint investments in the sectors with a competitive advantage in each of Egypt and Romania. El-Sisi and the Romanian Prime Minister agreed on the importance of holding the next round of the Egyptian-Romanian Joint Committee at the earliest opportunity. He also highlighted Romania's keenness to continue coordination and consultation with Egypt in light of Egypt's pivotal role in achieving stability and security in the Middle East and Africa. The President, who cited relations between the two countries that go back 117 years, discussed a number of regional issues with the Romanian Prime Minister, most importantly the Palestinian cause and Egyptian efforts to achieve calm between Israelis and Palestinians. They agreed on the importance of intensifying efforts to find a fair and comprehensive solution to the conflict in accordance with international legitimacy resolutions. The leaders also discussed developments of Russia-Ukraine crisis and its political, economic, and humanitarian repercussions globally. El-Sisi expressed Egypt's appreciation of Romania for receiving Egyptian students who were forced to leave Ukraine amid the crisis and for facilitating their return to Egypt. Egypt's Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, Minister of Trade and Industry Ahmed Samir, as well as the Romanian Minister of Economy and Romania's ambassador to Cairo attended the meeting.
Egypt opens up to the world. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi meets with world leaders.
أعبر لكم عن خالص الشكر والتقدير على حفاوة الاستقبال وكرم الضيافة.
Reaffirming Egypt's vision, delivering our voice abroad.
لتطوير التعاون الثنائي الاقتصادي والعسكري إلى مستويات غير مسبوقة.
Discussing regional and international developments. Solid and strong relations on the path of partnership and development.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. MPs approved Sunday an agreement that allows Egypt to officially join the new development bank to be set up by the BRICS economic group, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
MPs approved Sunday an agreement that allows Egypt to officially join the new development bank to be set by the BRICS economic group, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Deputy Chairman of the House's Economic Committee, Mohammed Abdelhamid, said that joining the BRICS group and its development bank benefits Egypt. MPs highly welcomed the agreement, seeing it in a way to help reduce demand on US dollars. Abdelhamid said Egypt's joining of the BRICS group's new development bank will also relieve the state budget of the pressure of finding US dollars to meet the country's imports, as members of the bank can use their national currencies in exchange for trade. He added that the success of Egypt in joining the BRICS group's new development bank reflects confidence in the Egyptian economy and also represents a step in fighting the dollarization phenomenon and opens new markets for Egypt's agricultural and industrial products. The BRICS group was formed by Brazil, Russia, India, and China in 2006, while South Africa joined it in 2010. It is an independent international organization that encourages trade and political and cultural cooperation among member states. President Fattah al-Sisi took part in the BRICS Group Summit in 2017 and 2022. Meanwhile, the president of the BRICS International Forum announced last July that Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey have submitted bids for joining the BRICS group.
الواقع الاقتصادي في مصر تحدي ضخم ولازم نعترف بده ونقبله ونعالجه. اطلعوا كلموا الناس وقولوا الموقف الاقتصادي ايه. زي ما الثورة ليها ايجابيات، الثورات بيبقى ليها سلبيات على مجتمعاتها. الارهاب والفساد كانوا عاملين اضافيين في اضعاف القدرة الاقتصادية لينا. مفيش اقتصاد يبقى مفيش تعليم، يبقى مفيش صحة، يبقى مفيش بنية اساسية. بنحاول نقلل الفجوة بين الموارد وبين المصروفات. كل القرارات الصعبة أنا لن أتردد ثانية إن أنا أخدها. لو هنعمل حاجة قبل ما هنعملها هنقول لكم عليها وأنتوا هتقفوا جنبي. الأمانة اللي انتم حملتوهاني تجاه الوطن مش بس انتوا اللي هتحاسبوني عليها، اللي هيحاسبني عليها ربنا قبلكم ثم التاريخ.